Welcome to the third episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, the reaction series. In the last episode, we met a new character called Noriaki, and at first he seemed to have antagonistic intentions against Jotaro, the protagonist, seeing that he attacked him several times and fought against him with his stand called Hierophant Green. But later in the episode we found out, actually at the very end, well, at first we found out that he was working for Dio, and Dio put him on Jotaro to, well, actually I don't know what his precise goal was. Maybe to just kill him or incapacitate him so he can bring him to Dio, but I'm not sure. But at least at the very end we found out that he had some kind of parasite lingering at his brain, so his actions weren't of his own volition but controlled by the parasite, and this parasite was Dio's parasite, and so it wasn't actually his own actions and words coming out of his mouth. Probably, we don't actually know 100% what was real, what was the real Noriaki and what was not, but we can assume that most of his actions were not his own. So these were controlled by Dio. And now, hopefully in this episode, we're going to find out if Noriaki is actually a good guy, and maybe he can help us, even join us in the fight against Dio. Let's get into this third episode. The Curse of Dio. It kind of does look like a spider. Flesh, but it's made of his own cells. The entire psyche. Okay. Okay, so probably but how much of it was his own choice? It's tightly connected to the brain, probably. Irreparable damage. So what can they do? What? Kind of vampire-like. To calm my soul. Yeah, dangerous. So it's kind of like an hypnosis, where he lures the victims in with his sweet words, and then he strikes and plants the flesh bud into his victim. probably. Oh wow, okay. So it eats away at the brain. Hopefully that will work without problems. Yes, true. But yeah, it's gonna move. Oh, now you can see it more clearly. It's defending itself. Oh. Is he now himself again? For this moment? Trust him. Yeah, he's cool as a cucumber. Come on, Jotaro. Yes! And this was just a very small part of Dio's body, and they had to be very careful and precise. I'm guessing Dio has become even more powerful now, especially with a stand. Yes. There it is again. He really doesn't respect Japanese culture. Okay, she's really not here. Yes, something's not right. I have a bad feeling about this. But she should actually be very safe around all those guys. No, don't tell me. Yeah, but she doesn't look like she's still alive. What? What is this? Yes, I just want to say some kind of stand power. Oh, it's her own stand power. What? Okay, I didn't expect this. And her body probably can't take all this energy and power. At this rate, she's not going to make it. He's got to be full of rage. Yes. Jotaro doesn't really seem concerned, he just wants to take action. Which is of course very helpful. How? Is it his stand? Maybe? Oh, it was a fly. That's a very nice drawing, actually. What is he thinking? But then who can? 50 days. Well, that's actually a long time. Okay. So that's the only way? Maybe there's another way. Some kind of stand exorcist. It's probably better not to make her worry by telling her the truth. It would probably take even more of a toll on her psyche as well as body. That would mean the stand would kill her even faster. He is definitely concerned. He just tries to hide it. This is most likely gonna happen on the regular. I said in my review of the second episode that they probably have to visit Egypt, but I thought it was because of Avdol that they would go to Egypt. But so this is gonna be the reason. She's a good mother. Well, I would probably too. Oh yeah, the theme music. Doesn't have a name yet. True. Star Platinum. Hermit Purple. Nice. Magician's Red. Yeah, we knew that. Hierophant Green. So, oh, nice. Those are similar powers to Joseph. He felt it. To be continued. This episode actually felt a lot different from the first two episodes. Mainly because there was no action, really, or any kind of fight. But there was more of a focus on the characters themselves, which I actually enjoyed. It's a nice change of pace. And speaking about characters, so we found out more about Noriaki. Well, a bit more at least. And as I suspected, he seems to be a very good person, a very good guy, who also cares for the welfare of the people surrounding him. And the parasites that I was talking about, that I presumed it was a parasite in the second episode, was actually, they called it flesh bud, which was made out of the cells of Dio. And we saw when Avdol explained his encounter with Dio in Egypt, I think it was, that Dio has some kind of way to hypnotize his victims, and through the process of hypnosis he can plant the flesh but some of his cells into his victims, and so he can gain control over them. directly piercing it into their forehead and into their brains. And well, surprisingly, Jotaro used his stand, which now has a name, through the power of Taro or Tarot, the soothsaying cards, and his name is Star Platinum, which fits the theme of this whole part, Stardust Crusaders, and also the character. And he used him to precisely and efficiently remove the flesh bud and destroy it. Well, actually Joseph destroyed it with Hamon, but he did most of the work. And something we have seen before, and which was mentioned, was that his Star Platinum, the stand of Jotaro, is very precise and quick. But I didn't think it was to this extent, which also surprised me. Positively surprised me. And he quickly removed it. And before he used some kind of photographic memory, he shot some kind of photos with his eyes, so he knew exactly where to pull and how to pull and all of that, which was the first time that we saw, should I say it? Let's just call him do it. And surprise, Jotaro's mother and Joseph's daughter does actually have, or is in the process of receiving a stand, which I didn't expect at all. Actually, it makes sense afterwards because she is tied to the Joestar family, and she also has the mark of the star, which would make sense that she would eventually receive a stand, but still, it was surprising. And now all of them have to travel to Egypt to confront Dio, because apparently, I hope there was another way. Maybe we will see another method to stop the manifestation of the stand inside of her, but probably not. Apparently confronting and eliminating Dio is the only way to stop it. And he seems to be in Egypt, based on the fly that was in the photo of him in the background, and it's an Egyptian fly. And they said they have around 50 days until the stand has fully manifested inside of her. And actually 50 days is a lot of time to prepare and to organize themselves and to strategize what to do against Dio and how to confront him. For now, at the end, we also saw, after the ending, we saw a short clip of them boarding the plane, and there seemed to be another stand user working for Dio in this plane. So the next episode is probably gonna revolve around this conflict between this stand user and them. I also forgot to mention that we again saw the good side of Jotaro, his pure heart, when seeing his mother in agony and in pain, and when she was unconscious. Joseph got really emotional and angry while he just stood there, and as I said in the reaction, he was just immediately taking action and thinking logically and clearly. But one could observe that he was holding his emotions in, probably not to, well, for those emotions not to get in the way of clear thinking, and for him to not show this emotional side, maybe because he doesn't want to see him being so, well, maybe for him it's a sign of weakness that when he's showing his emotional side. This could be. We will see in the future how this develops. And, yes. Later on, we saw that he did get angry and frustrated. I'm looking forward to see where this is going. And yeah, I will see you in the next episode. Take care.